I'd rather watch that. I don't know how to do
I don't either. Did you turn it on?
Yeah.
Oh. No, he said
that.
no.
Know how to do that?
I don't.
Oh,
Richie,
you
you,
got one email, Shane said he would hook up to.
oh, automatically. I guess he'll log up. Yeah.
Oh, Twitter.
Yeah,
Sure.
because somebody else has to watch it, because I can't do two things at once.
No,
My-
here's somebody left a login and stuff over here.
I don't know what that's for.
It's for that.
Maybe it's for Richie, because I'm not a computer smart person. I barely know how to check my email. Oh. Molly cornered me yesterday down at the Mercantile. She come up behind me, asked me if I'd check my email. And I said, for what? And I said, when or something. And she goes, a week ago. And I said, no. She said, can I get an email from her? And I said, when? She said, about a week ago. And I said, no. And she goes, oh, you need to check your email. And I go, are you talking about the one about me not defending you, not putting your name out my mouth? And she goes, yes. And I said, yeah, I read it. And she goes, but you didn't respond. And I go, I didn't feel it needed a response.
Everyone can see through, you know.
And then she's like,
That's the kid.
she was, well,
That's why I'm trying to get him to change it first.
I don't want to be telling people that.
I'm missing out.
I said,
Smithville,
did I say,
City,
you go,
all the-
Down might have used those words. I said, my apologies for that. And I said, but I did send you a message and tell you to get your personal belongings out of the store and to keep. She goes, yeah, but you insinuated like it was a job. And I almost said I didn't, but anyway, she just kept on and kept on. Debbie and Dakota were out there. Cause I was standing there talking to them. And then she was like, well, you abused, how was it? She said, I abused my seat on the town council by, like, she was holding that over my head, like making me think that I did what I did to her at the store because of being my seat here on the council. And I said, that has nothing to do with it. That had nothing to do with me telling you to come get your stuff. And she goes, well, you didn't even give me a chance to respond. Like, you gave me no response. You just told me to get my stuff. And I said, correct. And then she kept mouthing off. She said, well, I just want you to know, she said, I felt assaulted or something twice.
Oh my God.
And she was twice by you that day. And I looked, by what are you talking about? And she said, well, you telling me to come get my things and then that you're not interested in the inventory. And I was like, right. And she said, and then I also was, the police contacted me. They showed up at my house and I go, hey, I did not call the police on you. I said, she goes, well, I have a police report or I have a police report that tells me everything I need to know. And I go, well, do what you want then, because I guarantee you it wasn't me.
Nope. Wasn't none of us fun.
But she thinks she's gonna hold that over my head. So when she comes here tomorrow, I'm not looking at her. She said my name. I may have to step out because I'm not gonna be, it's not gonna be pretty. As I told her, I was like, we
Like, you
are
know,
done.
I want to say so bad. Well, I contacted the community in Colorado and they're sending me the instructions of how they run your ass out of there because we're going to do it here too.
Well,
Tell her to move the sandbags away from the side.
I seen they're not done.
And she moved a couple of them over to the side a little bit to open it. She said they're not blocked. I said, yeah, they are. And you can't block the sidewalk. And that's not where the water runs down anyway. You know, and we went back and forth. And she said, if I did this, then she might think about or consider moving them. I didn't respond no more because it's like,
You shouldn't be here. tonight.
bitch, I'll move them myself.
You shouldn't be here
Yeah.
tonight. I'll say something about them. I
Yeah.
don't care.
It's-
She called you too?
You want me to bring up the sandbags?
What is her deal?
I'm like, you can't block the sidewalk. I don't care what you want to do.
You want me to bring it up? Because I will. I don't care. I'm good at pissing people off.
We may not have anybody ever walk down that sidewalk, but it's the point. You don't block it. It's not part of your area.
Well, she told me that, she wanted me to read my emails because she wanted to be able to participate in this meeting without me attacking her. And I said, I am offended that you think that I would use my seat on the council to attack. I've never done it.
I got some more.
I am so over
She
her.
probably don't want to hear.
I am so over her. I told her, I said, she goes, well, you made, you, when you told me to get.
I was saying on this for the
You made it.
meeting that day since you're downloading, we can look at it Monday.
What is that?
She needs for a grant that she's working on for us for all new AEDs,
Oh, okay.
financial stuff.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to also, we need to make a decision on the parking lot.
We need to get more estimates on one.
She
Can't
thought,
get
I
nobody
guess
to
she
come
thought
in.
that we
Who
should
have you
just
called?
deliver them.
I called
to the
again,
door.
I called that Taylor.
Cause she
Called
reached
Marlo.
out to me and
They
I
both
said,
were
I don't
they
know
don't have
if
time
there
to
are
do it.
any,
It's
but I
something
will
that would be
find out.
big enough to benefit them right now.
So,
Okay.
and then she said, well, she had already
Of course, we got
contacted.
the one from the guy that's
Ellisville
here.
Police Department or
EB.
something. It was a whole
Yeah,
big
whatever.
drawn out
That's the
thing.
one we got, ain't it?
And
Yep.
her
And he's the only one that
house
came in.
flooded because
Because
water.
I even
come
tried
up
to get
through
another
the
shit
shower.
town to come and do it.
30,000 for
Shower
that.
drain.
And, well, no, that's all of,
And then
I
she
was
said,
reading everything
responsible
together.
for that
It's
because
not,
we
there's
have
two
the
different
sewer. And I
things.
said,
I don't
no,
know.
we don't
Broke it
have
out.
any.
Yeah,
But it's in the same,
it's all in the one, and then you
I
read, I'm
feel
like,
whole-
oh, wait a minute. So he broke it down and separated it for me. So like the biggest would
She
be,
wanted,
I can't remember if it was 14 or 17, and that's digging everything up,
the entire part.
and she
redoing the
was
entire
mad
thing
for it because
and
we
skirt.
didn't
And
give
then
her
it's like,
Well, the
information on
skirt
how
they
to get
can't
them.
dig
And
up
I'm
and
pretty
redo
sure
it.
Scott
It's
told her.
concrete.
yeah,
If
but
she
it's
wants to
like
contact
taking that
him,
layer off, roughing it
if
up.
we
and
don't
then
have
putting
any
it on,
money,
so
she
it's
can
full.
contact
But is
him.
it going to adhere to it? Because I've been told that asphalt won't
Department
adhere to
or
concrete.
something, and then she
It
came
just,
to-
I've been told it breaks the concrete down over time. So that's what scares me about that, the
See, I didn't
paper
know
side of
that
it.
But I mean, that's in,
In the meantime,
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
it's like,
In the
if it's
meantime, I
17,
got
it's
ahold of
14,
Scott
or
and
if
found
it's
out
14,
there
it's
was some
13,
here
11. I
fire
can't remember
station.
which.
She
Hey.
said she was told they were here. And so I came
What
down. and I
about
didn't see
that
'em.
Bloomington?
But as I
seal
went back
coat
up home,
paving
I
that
saw
we
them
tried
there.
them?
So I reached
The
out.
only
and I
reason I know
said,
that
hey,
is
they're
because
at
they
the
did a
fire
driveway out
station.
here on
No,
Walker
I
Lane.
haven't. I didn't.
I wouldn't
They
know
did
what I'm
a
doing.
driveway out here on Walker Lane.
That's not my.
I just like to have a couple.
Yeah.
But I'll hold on to this, remind me.
Let me.
Yeah, it's been a whole big ordeal.
I think only know what you're about.
Funny.
Wow.
Well, when I called and talked to you about sandbags to begin with, then she went to Ellisville and told him that we were refusing to get her any at all. And then she said, I called emergency management and they said no one had ever called and asked. And I said, that's funny because they've already been delivered and I left a message for you to come and get them.
Called Justin. Justin may not know. I think Justin was in the office that day. So it's like, you really gotta, gauge who you're talking to here.
She's something. We'll have to get you the little link so you can read the story of where she lived in Colorado. Yeah.
I mean, you're into some big long deal, Justin.
Mm,
Right.
and if you say hi to her, you violated her civil rights. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One that's left over at the station, I dispose of them. Because those bags are busting up in the sandstorm to go in the parking lot.
I put them back, but I didn't know like.
I'm gonna see if I can find
um,
some kind of containers or have something box type made and put them in it. Because that worked perfect for that sign where it's got and it'll fit over the board as a weight.
Bags up there are split.
Yeah, these two back here did too, find
Yeah.
it.
I saw that the other
I
day.
don't know if it's just bags are old.
That's probably to get rid of them through the nutrition. So I can get more, but yeah, yes, made.
Again, guys, I don't need this
We
shit.
probably just throw it in the trash or.
Or trash
They
can.
got a public works department. I like
Yeah, I don't know.
Trash can.
Maybe over by Leah.
it.
Oh, there's
One
one
of
at the
them.
very, very back.
Recycling.
Well, every.
Yeah, we recycle
I
it.
started saying,
Like
I
the Davis
intend-
can.
It does say recycle, probably because we didn't have another one for it, but I'm the one that changes the trash out. So I know it gets recycled to the can out back.
Yep. That's exactly how it works.
Recycling.
Yeah. It recycles from there to my hand to out there.
Yeah, yep.
Hopefully I don't-
Do what?
You ready? Jane Muncie.
I think Jane Munsey's supposed to be here about the museum, or Lois said, or something.
Cool.
Yeah, it's Jane.
If she wants to work on doing it, that'd be great, because I trust her.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's been something. But yeah, I don't know, but it was something about the library wanting, she told me tonight on the way here, the library wanting to know about the museum because they're wanting limestone, something about the whole limestone industry related. I don't know. She can tell you. That's what she's coming for, according to Lois.
Library ain't even open half the time.
First, you work.
God.
You got a library?
She needs to get rid of that kid's little playroom thing in that other room they've got
To be for adult.
and make adult books and stuff, reading materials there. They can come and get it and then have it open. And, what's her name?
Jane?
No,
Jackie?
So anything that's like right here.
Sadie.
Sadie. Kept wanting to say Maddie. I don't know where the hell that was coming. Sadie. She's like, she's, when I had some books and stuff that were given to me to take there, she goes, no, we don't want any, because we don't have anybody to catalog them and do all this. You know, we had help back. I'm like, there's students that will still come down here because they have to have projects. But if you're in there and you get a dozen books, how hard is it for you just to put that in? It's not like you're doing hundreds like you did.
I've
Come in there
had
and
stuff,
start, take these shelves here and put them over there and start having some
I
adult stuff.
have had several people drop books off outside the buildings out here and they get wet.
Yeah.
And I just have to trash them. So I don't, you know, there was something Lois said set in someplace out here and it was out in the rain and I don't remember who she said took it off, but I go, what was it? And she said she didn't know it looked like books. And I'm like, well, I'm not moving.
I've had it run in and I sat by her door inside, but it's like,
But they,
make it
So
adult stuff in there.
yeah,
Because they would come, you know, we get the library, the bookmobile for half an hour.
right. I know. And you know, those guys that come in, they are the nicest people. I know Dan comes in, Vera doesn't so much anymore, but Dan comes in every weekend. I think they've got a girl that works with them now. But he said they're also, when it was so hot, they don't have air conditioning in the one that comes here. They don't have air conditioning in it. And so they, yeah. And so he said that when it's that hot, I get emails telling me they won't be here. But, you know, I tell them, honestly, I'm not opposed to giving Dan a fob to get in the door so they can come into the bathroom, but it also brings them to the back of the store and he brings me books in because I can't go out, you know, so he'll bring me the Audible books. And I just told him, I said, I can't listen, like I can't, there's too much going on. And I like, Mom won't register. She's bashful about talking to people. And so I said, I can't just have my headphones on all the time and not talk to people because they come in all the time when I talk. So, but I just told him to hold on it for a while, but they were supposed to get like, they've been giving me like repeat of ones I've already seen. And I just can't listen to ones I've already, I was bad enough first time around. So, and if I sat down to read a book in 10 minutes, I'm like,
Oh, same here.
Like,
My eyes
yeah,
across.
I can't stand it. I said, I just can't. I just can't unless it, now, what is it? Where the Crawdads Sing? That one was, I was telling Brooklyn one night about, you know, burying a body in the bayou and all that. And I said, and
No, that's really weird because the one,
Well, it just lays there, right?
the one trip that, we went to Virginia Beach, went for the county, when we were getting some over there for their computer stuff. And we were flying over, I had bought a book at a bookstore in Bloomington. I don't know why, because I never go to it, but it was a paperback book. And, it was like where the bodies are buried. And it was based on a true story out of Indianapolis. That Baumeister, it was a shame, who owned a business and then he was killing, guys and burying them, burning them up on his property and stuff. And they just had a big TV show about on them. But because it was something here local and true, then I got into it. I read the whole thing and then I watched the thing on TV. Come to find out one of the detectives from up at the Marion County and somebody with the IMPD that was at the class, his name was Charlie that we met. They were ones that worked on that case.
Oh my
So it's pretty cool. Other than that, I can't do it. I can't read it.
that's the only book that I've read. And well, I read that one about Lauren Spear, but it really wasn't all that long.
Let's turn it off.
What is it?
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how to mess with it. So,
Did okay, so show me this again.
Muffins?
Huh?
okay,
On your remote.
I don't have a remote.
She's good.
It just come on.
Hey.
Now, what do you do to get it to log in though?
Oh, I thought you said, what's the name?
No, I mean.
I don't know.
It's kind of why I skipped some.
Here comes
And I'm
Richie.
thinking, no, I think
I
there's
said,
enough
there's Debbie.
yarn.
Did
I
talk,
could
yes,
even
talk to
have
Richie.
changes to the lake.
He's lost a lot of weight, hasn't he?
This came in the mail. I don't know what, to do with it or what it's for.
Could always take green or black to do a real big surgery on this and.
Just over here, so I'm not.
Oh, no.
I was leaning.
Hey, before you,
What?
you now log into that.
Found the edging in there.
Shane's supposed to be doing it.
This is,
And then that
Say he was.
edging cabinets.
what's that shape? Cause I'm not sure. It seems like I've seen this before.
Where the remote's at.
Leah turned it on.
But,
I think she turned the TV on.
Yeah, that's.
She might have.
On the floor, probably done for 3 or 4 hours this afternoon. And that could be.
somebody like this. Who's writing that is?
You never
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like, I was kind of giving Scott the lowdown.
Oh, so you go to HDMI3, okay.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, right there.
I was telling
And
Brooke,
that
I
has to
sent,
be read to be
I sent
live.
Brooke and Leah
There.
a message and was telling them about it.
These chairs are the hardest thing. Well,
Jane Munphy?
all right, ask for approval of the June and July minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
Any questions?
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ask for approval of the June and July treasury report.
Just Judy.
Just, oh, we don't know that.
You don't have to lie it.
Oh, that's right, it didn't, sorry.
I make a
Correct.
motion to approve the June treasurer's report.
Second.
Any questions?
Nope.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, was Shane going to be
Shane is not going to
live on there to talk to us or?
be.
I thought he was supposed to be, but I don't know.
You know that they were sending a message about some stuff.
I do know that, I do know that Brent had asked for a executive session later this month. So whatever works for you guys, you just let me know. And you guys decide and let me know. And I'm good with that.
He had also sent a text because he couldn't be here because of his job in Crawfordsville. The new hires are progressing in the process. The next step, which is this month, is the in-person interviews, and he would like to know any dates and times that any of us are available so that one could attend. Set in on this. So if you all want to talk that over and do that. And then he wants to talk to us about the associated cost of what it is, and what they're gonna need for the new ones when they come on board. That's all that he sent to me. I don't know. I think we all got that.
Yeah.
Going over the town laws, the books here, so we'll just do that, I guess, during that other session and go
Yeah.
from there. All right, Tommy, you're on for the fire department.
Go back to visit this one again. Burn walls in town. I've been having a lot of Oakland burning complaints. What's the actual, you got to follow county? Do you have your own?
I do not believe we have our own. I'm not. I just assumed it was with,
So just
County.
just I would just in the county, and you guys follow it.
yes.
Festival coming up next month. You have a list of pre-closings and stuff that we need to get out to. And how you guys do it. It's got that put that out that you're gonna be closing streets during certain hours and stuff. And that's what
Yes.
I'm assuming.
Same one again as always.
No parking inside.
Right.
Just hours.
Is that it?
Who said that was it?
Yeah, he
You-
said that's
You can
all.
really hear him, but you can't hear him tonight. Park.
Do we have ordinances that yet on park rules, town rules? As far as kids being put up in the park, dogs in the park?
And we got the
What?
tentative ordinance for the town, but
Copy of the. Copy of the. The dog.
I don't know that there's anything on there specifying tents for park, but
But it's still within the town.
yeah,
It is,
so it'd have to go with the other one that's,
Well,
because the town is part of the park, or the park is part of the town. It would apply because it's a town owned property. Just like Monroe County, they don't allow it in the, in the public space.
I pulled up to the park in the state of the vehicle, and I told them, like, no, and it blew up.
again,
No.
Oh.
Now she is bringing the dog in the park in the memorial park. She's saying no watching the store and giving them good list everything.
and that's clearly posted on the signs.
She's antagonizing to see if we will hear from her. We can get something sent to her, or maybe Shane can go say something to her. I don't
Is she staying down there?
know. But she only comes up on us to walk her dog.
Anything else? Talk about the,
Oh, yeah, how's your
Yeah.
pickleball?
yeah, the pickleball.
Pickleball night, we did it. Pickleball picnic, we made $416, serving puppy toes and sloppy dogs, and hot dogs.
Good deal.
$85, the pickleball. And we haven't heard anything from Melody, so I'm pretty good.
Hers, she said it was 601 or something like that total on her sales between there and down the park. So turned out pretty good. And for a game that I knew nothing about, there was people coming in from Bloomington to play that. And
It was packed. The parking
they
lot
are-
was packed.
they're wanting to do more. So I think they're gonna try it again next month. And then Matt, I think from the park board is willing to do like a one night a week tournament. So it's $5 to enter, and they had, I think, $50 cash prizes or something like that they gave out to the team. So
Also, we're gonna move our park board meeting back down to the shelter house. So. We moved it up here, I guess, because one and wanted comfortable seats.
Yes.
So we've always had them down at the park.
When's the next meeting?
So, well,
Tuesday.
whatever, next Tuesday. is.
Yep.
We could do it, well, but. Yes,
Yes, it is the 12th.
August 12th. 6:30.
6:30 at Clarkson?
Yes. So you will be having your meetings back down at the shelter house then?
She's still gonna be okay.
that does raise a point though. The park board meeting has to be recorded.
If they hold them here, if
Okay.
they're down there, then no. All right, community center needed repairs.
We never heard anything back from,
Eric,
Eric, yes.
No, I haven't. Keep forgetting to call.
I have a feeling he's not interested.
I mean, I do the maintenance, like as far as like janitorial stuff. I do that, you know, and for the rent of the second room. But, I don't know how to put that gate thing up or anything like that.
Put a metal piece over the hole in the garage. It just covers from the inside. It doesn't do anything to protect the wood that's already starting to rot from the outside. So I don't know who did that.
I don't know.
Do you want to check with him to see?
When Blackie and I were,
I mean, I can, but he was, when Eric first reached out to Lois, because I texted him and asked him about it, he was given specific instructions not to go through me, so that's, I've been hands
Yeah.
off. So, I mean, I can reach out to him and
I'm gonna say if you could just get him to get a hold.
Just ask him if he will reach out to Lois if he's interested, if you can get him to do that.
Yeah.
Or to Leah, like, I guess either one. Leah may be, Lois may be the easiest to contact because Leah's not in her head because Lois isn't working. She's retired, so she could be able to look up the things that he might need. Show him, meet here with him, show him what. I think you did do a walkthrough though with him, didn't you? And show him items?
he has a lot of little things that wouldn't be much to repair,
Right.
including fixing the back door so that when it shuts, it shuts.
Right.
instead of-
And there is a bottom, Scott and I talked about this the other night. There, you can see daylight underneath.
Need some new weather strips.
Yeah. So we need to get that checked because I think that water pulls up and comes in under the door and you can see it leaving lines on them.
And I'll be taking care of the leaves this next weekend, so. All right, anything else? In the community center?
Oh, did we get, we figured out a key to the deadbolt that's on the door that we don't have a key to? It goes into the gym.
Lois has it. We need to get a copy
Yeah,
of
you
that.
get a copy of that, put it in the box.
All right, old business, selling the LaSure lot on Main Street. Anybody have anything from Darla?
I talked to Darla about that and she's like, there was a way that we can get around doing it without getting the appraisals. And then that was the last I heard from her. She said, I'll look into it and get back with you. And I'm gonna say she's still looking into it.
All right. Well, the road repairs for the,
Before we move on, Scott,
yeah,
is there a way that we can get it finalized so we don't have to continue to pay for it to be mowed and I mean, we've
Yeah,
asked her
that's fine.
several times. The only person that's ever reached out to me was, Ronnie Taylor, but way back when. And, Travis, and Travis wouldn't go more than 1,000, he said. So, Phoebe's lot.
I don't mind.
So,
I'll send her a message tomorrow.
yeah.
Tell her we
If
need it
you
now.
can do that and tell her that we have someone interested, that, I mean, if we have to put it out there for bid, then, you know, we need to do that so we can move on.
Yep.
So we can get some of this off our agenda.
All right, so number 2, road repairs, the culverts to Mary Height and Broadway. And
Yeah.
8248 Main updates.
I met with that guy, but he said he would send
Got.
information. You got
I
it?
got it
Okay,
here, yeah.
gotcha.
Snedeker Construction. So Kim walked around with him. They looked at everything for Mary Height Drive. He proposes to install a 12-inch culvert at the bottom of Mary Height Drive, and ditch the side of the gravel road portion to help prevent the stone from washing out at the bottom of the hill. Price includes a 12-inch culvert pipe, 20-foot long with end sections, 1 day of ditching the road to gravel around the culvert pipe, seed and straw. Total from them is $5,579.23. And Leah, you can have these. And then for Broadway Street, where it comes out at Main and Tabor Hill, together there. Proposes to ditch approximately 170 foot running alongside the asphalt for the water to drain and install a 12-inch culvert pipe with the end sections going across Broadway Street. Pricing includes 20 foot of culvert pipe, 2 days of ditching, seed and straw, road signage, and flaggers. He's also made a note. He said there's no guarantees that the water would not pond in the yard next to it, and probably needs a pipe ran across the road, which is falling on Tabor Hill roadside, which would be the county. So we'll have to get with Lisa or whomever and see if they're going to be willing to work with us on this. But our portion of this for that section is $9,579.23. So, and those are. Let's try and see if he had a specific date. 30 days.
That's
from
good for 30.
July 30th for that price. But he said if we decide sooner the better for them, because there's a lot of jobs out there pending with them to go to, so.
How much do we have in the stormwater fund, Leah? Fair enough.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
I know I think on the last meeting, Lois, or meeting before, there was
What's in the
20 some.
page? What's in the?
Should be some.
And that's good. Which one is it? Stormwater. 29,000, a little over 29,000.
So there's plenty there to do it with.
Well, so we had Mary Heights, we had the end of Broadway at Main on Tabor, and then, in front of Molly's. What was the suggestion from Stormwater?
I do. So basically at the end of the current sidewalk where she piled all the sandbags.
Yeah.
Erica said that, we need to probably put a drain in there. And then run it through a 24-inch concrete pipe from there all the way down to Main and Railroad Street, because there's already stormwater infrastructure there that the county put in when they maintained Main Street. And then she said she would recommend, since there's that like natural ditch right there just past Molly's where Pam and Tim used to own, she said you could dig it out right there, run the pipe there, and then like extend the sidewalk, make the sidewalk wider. And basically we would extend the sidewalk all the way from where it currently is, all the way down to Main and Railroad. And we would just have to leave like the utility right of ways in there, like curb up so they can drive across it. But that's what she recommended doing. That way it would stop the water from going over that little hump that's in Molly's driveway now. But the stormwater lady did tell me that basically once the water gets over that hump, or if the rainwater hits behind that hump and it runs to her house, that's a her problem, not a us problem. Because Indiana state law states that the property owner is responsible for the slant of their driveway and whether it runs to their house or from their house. But she said we could do our part in installing that grate or that drain right there at the end of the sidewalk, and then just extending the sidewalk all the way down. But I don't know what that would cost. Erica from the county stormwater department was supposed to send me like who the county uses as far as like getting all their piping and stuff from and all that, but I haven't got any of that information yet.
Well, do we want to wait on them as far as that? Or do we want to try to get Snedeker to come back down and give us a quote on that section?
Well, if you're all right, if you're all right with that, that's what I would do. I would ask them to give us a quote on that as well. So we have all three and see if he would be okay maintaining this beyond 30 days if it goes beyond that. Because we won't meet again unless we do a special meeting.
Right.
So,
I didn't know if you
I'm-
wanted
I-
to do
I
that, or
say-
if you want to go ahead and.
I say we
do
go
this
ahead and
get it
approve those
started
and get them
then
to,
deal with this one,
yeah, that's what I recommend.
and then we can get him and then whoever they've got.
from the other,
And get them
okay.
down to do that.
Yeah.
Somebody want to make a motion then?
Go ahead, Vicki.
I make a motion, we go ahead with the road projects for Mary High and Broadway with Snedeker and see if we can get them to give us a quote on the third issue.
Any other questions on those two?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, Taylor property update.
He might know more than the rest of us do.
Sure, yeah. So,
I haven't heard anything else.
They went to court last Monday, or last Friday. We're still waiting for the next judgment. Bradley wasn't willing to leave the property when the gentleman was. Bradley has made a lot of improvement. Obviously, he still has a lot more to make. But they're waiting judgment because the county just asked for him to be removed while they. I also know Binding Fanyo was out. They did test the sewer. Bradley's sewer is connected to the lift station, but there is a break in Bradley's line on the side of his house to the box. The Binding Fanyo is going to fix that for free just because they know they won't fix it because they be in the sewer and then once the sewer is being water. So yeah, that's that. So Bradley is making progress, but they're just waiting the judgment to see. And I think they're hoping that the judge will say, yes, remove Bradley while they clean. Take everything out except for the camper because the judge said that you would give him more time for the camper. Bums me out because camper floods, it's gonna but now because it moved from this way to that way. And Jacqueline wanted the camper to have the ball facing the road so that in an imminent emergency, they could be towed out, but it's so full of things that it can't be towed. And then he's got jam packed with all the stuff that he had to pick up. So he's jam packed. But he has the ball facing the wrong way, so that's another thing that they're still in there with.
Isn't the camper against town ordinance?
Yeah.
You can have a camper on the property, you can't live in it.
Live in it.
Have to be plated and registered.
Does that fall underneath the,
In the floodplain, it has to move every 180 days.
Well, it's a vehicle, so.
yeah,
Anything in town, you gotta take them, it's not plated to register. Properly, so does that have to plated and registered?
I would say, yeah, but I'm not a police officer.
One other update is I was able to buy the Rayleigh property. So now I own that. I still have to, just need to go back and they wouldn't take a check for the back taxes. It would have to be set by a check or cash. So pay that off, but then that will just sit fallow and that problem will go away.
So, here's one more question for you, since you're here. They're borrowing power, can you do that? So we'll put it, so in the event that something happens down there and I need to kill the power, how do I do that?
There,
Because there's no meter to pull or nothing like
there's
that.
on the main, on my outdoor meter base, has a main disconnect.
on your meter
On
base, on
my
the
meter.
adjacent property.
Yeah.
So my guys are not gonna know that. Nobody's gonna know that shows up.
And well, the nice part is for their side of things, it's just on a 20 amp GFI breaker. So if you cut the cord, the GFI will trip before anybody's ever listened to. So in that sense, but my meter base is readily accessible and you can just hit the main on.
Well, and the only reason I'm asking that's because I may not be the person that's always there.
No,
Our guys may not be the first people there.
I understand, and I would love to not be, it's a delicate thing, especially with Bill, living in his van down there. It's like, I want to ensure that Bill has,
As long as they're living in the house.
no, he's living in the van. He's at the house with two. But so, yeah, so he's down there and so I want to, I'm still in that rock and hard place where, I want to be friends with them because every time I go to Wisconsin, I don't want to have to be robbed. I also don't want to listen to the generator, you're already listening to them bang all night on what they're doing, but the generator would be. I guess the last question, while we're on that, I know that you said at one point that you could lean on the PVP, the water company. They said that they wouldn't patch the road where they fixed the water leak. That was in November.
Well, we had a gravel sidewalk where they cut a section out of there that was gravel for 2 years. Finally, we just went about the concrete and did it ourselves. So good luck.
Yeah. If that's what it is, but I just know that if it floods again, that the gravel will be right back.
I'll give them a call tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else on the Taylor property? All right, moving on. Well, got some good news for the community center there, a new washer and dryer, so we can
Yay.
clean things around here. Thanks to Kim for finding that one for us.
Very nice. It was a community event.
All right. Well, it looks like we're gonna let Jamie Nebel, Emergency Management Director, present her hazardous mitigation plan adoption.
So, and here to ask for formal adoption of our multi-hazard mitigation plan. Every 5 years, FEMA graciously requests us to update that plan, and we have followed through with the help of a vendor. So I'm sure the question on everybody's mind is what the heck is the multi-hazard mitigation plan? So there are 11 hazards that have been pre-identified by FEMA. We get to rule out hurricanes, tsunamis, fortunately, because we're far enough inland that we can whittle those down. And we sit down with a variety of folks in the county. I sat down with Tommy and we rated yours to have input from the town of Zionsville. And we rate them on probability, severity, warning time, and duration. There's some math involved in here that gives us the EPRI value, and that's how we get the rating. So I don't have this all memorized, so yes, I am looking at. The vendor does us a solid and goes through and finds all of the historical data and puts that all in a nice little narrative. I'd be glad to send to you all within the next portion of the complete form. Still have a couple of corrections that need to be by the vendor. It's all very nice. Based upon those values, our ranking is as follows. Our number 1 hazard is fire or wildfire, which I know that kind of takes everybody by surprise, but we also group with wildfire. There are house fires, grass fires, mulch fires, all those fires get grouped in there together, which happens quite often. Number 2 is winter storms and ice storms. Right. Hail, thunderstorms, and wind storms. Hazardous materials incidents, which again is kind of another surprise, but with I-69 and all of our state roads, there's a lot of semis, rails too, that carries a lot of hazardous materials. That's why that one sits in number 4. Flood being number 5, extreme temperatures 6, tornado 7, no surprise. We've had 4 since I've been here, but who's counting? Earthquake 8, drought 9, dam and levee failure 10. Lake Monroe and a lot of other smaller lakes. And last, landslide or subsidence. We are in the land of karst, so. At the very end, we have compiled a lot of mitigation practices. Some are things that we already do, some are things that we would like to do, and some things are way big desires that we may not ever get to do, but we still write them down for good measure, like raising Mount Tabor down in floods, like every single time, you know, the cloud sneeze. You know, that's a pie in the sky. If we ever get enough grant money within the county highway, we'd love to raise that, but I'd still write it down.
Actually, go on my list to call Lisa about, because I was told to by the commissioners, because that's supposed to have been done like 3 years ago. When they closed 69 off, they were supposed to do that.
Yeah, enough dollars, anything's possible. Give her a call. It's on my list, so I.
It's on your list.
It's on my,
Or her list.
it's on my list. But yeah, there's a lot of mitigation efforts that are active. We take those mitigation pieces and we can use them as grant justification. Actually, anybody in the county can use it for your grant justification. This is not just a plan that we use exclusively, it's for anybody to use. Data from it to, you know, use for, as long as it's not nefarious purposes, you know, created for anybody. So I sent you the template for the resolution, and I'm just asking for you to formally adopt it. The consequences of not formally adopting it means that if there is a federally declared disaster in your town, you may not be able to get FEMA disaster funds or any mitigation funds. I highly urge that you.
Is there a certain date that you need it done by?
There is not. Prefer sooner rather than later, say. There's not an expiration date on it. We are within the window where we do that. Adopt it soon because we're at 5 year. Probably within the next couple of months.
Okay, I can say, can we, if we have it drawn up and do it through our next meeting?
That'd be good. Send me a copy.
You guys have any questions?
Nope.
No. We'll take care of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. It's nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
All right, with that, we're open for public comment.
I just have a question. Is there a code of ethics or a code of conduct policy for town board members?
Well, I would think there would be, but I'm not sure exactly what be written.
How do we look it up?
It would be after Indiana code. Everybody had to follow the same one on that.
Okay. And then the other question I have, what is the exact code for tents in the park? I looked online and I looked at the town codes. I don't see anything.
There's not one specific to the park. There's one that's for the town, which includes the park. So,
And could you specify?
nope, I'll have to go find the ordinance for you. I don't have it. I don't have that book. Has this got all the ordinances in it here? Red,
Go balls.
it's in here. We'll do it after.
We're not. Alphabetical order or anything.
Oh, okay.
Here they run.
Jim, do you have any idea when that
I do not.
was then?
It's been many years ago.
We'll have to go through this after we get done here so that we can see what we can find. Details.
a neighbor asked me to let you know the drainage on Steins Road that connects to Railroad Road is full of debris. And there is a sinkhole at the edge of Lytic Park between Railroad and reaching Stein. Jeff Farmer does know about it, but I just wanted to let you know that the drainage is full of debris and we don't know who is responsible for it. And
Going down the hill on the left side by the park.
yes,
Question I would have is if, so there is all the town ordinances, right, are listed somewhere. Do we know who would be the like compliance officer or something like that? I just wonder, like my neighbors who have all the couches, not the tailors, but just in general, there's stuff like that. Who do we contact or how do we know that these things are, loud or not loud?
Prior to me, didn't that get set up as the police doing those citations and then the compliance part of it, Kim, goes through the clerk? When
I'm sorry, I was writing.
If they're issuing any violations on these, doesn't all that get done by the police department?
Yes, police department serves violations and the town clerk is any violations that aren't resolved by, then they're fined, they would pay to the clerk.
Because I know there was a thing set up prior that we would have one day a week, one day a month.
I think it was one day a month or something like that.
Certain time frame, they could come here and pay. And if they didn't bring it or they didn't drop it off or mail it in, then after so many days, it goes to the county side of it, the county courts.
The question I have, like, without trying to do whatever, is there any way that in the future that we could focus a little more on some like solid waste clients? Just, I mean, I know, again, we always talk about the tailors, but there just is a lot of properties within city limits that they were in the county, hey, whatever, but city limits, it's not great when you comes a bunch of, yeah. It'd just be nice if the living couches, they're 4 months old tires. Yes. And then, I feel like there was somebody like Shane who, or else it's just like we call on them, they call on us, they call on, get the Hatfield McCoy kind of thing, whereas if there's just somebody who just politely said, hey, look, I just can't have your couch or your mattress out, or like, hey, that vehicle, has to be plated or has to move X, again, I don't know what the ordinance says, but little things would go a long way.
I do think that goes into a due process issue where the town laws need to be publicly available, either online or in a library that people can read the ordinances so they know what is expected of them and they know what the ramifications of not following them. I also think that it is in good best practices to also provide resources for people who may need extra help, like letting people know when the Ellisville Recycling Center has the dumpsters, because they usually do it like
On the internet, that's readily available on the internet. They hold it 1 month instead of a week out of the whole month.
true, but not everybody grew up in Steinsville and some people are new to the area. So just so they know where to look would be helpful. But we
Park, they will follow. There's a big sign that says what the rules are of the park, and they follow them.
No, I'm just saying that that's on, if somebody asks, is it, they can look up the bulk drop at the county recycling on Google. It's not particularly on Monroe County's website. It's not on, you can Google and recycling.
I mean, there could be like an information page on our website, things like that. I'm personally not gonna go door to door to everybody that comes into town and say, hey, here's what you need to do, or look at this to find it. But things like that can be there. If they don't have access to a computer or the posting of having these on where they can come here to check on them, or they can, at one point, I know they used to hang them on the bulletin board at the store. Then after months, they just turn yellow and they threw them away. They took them down. But it's on people to check on those things as well, not just the board to do that.
I'm not saying it is the board's job to do that. I'm just saying that I benefit from knowing what resources are available. I'm happy to help, but it would be best practices before starting punitive action to maybe provide social resources.
No, they get notified. It's not an instant ticket. They get notified. There's a letter plus verbal. So they know, and then they're
I'm
getting that
happy to
information.
provide a list of resources to help put on the website. If, I'm not trying to argue.
I'm not taking it that way. I'm just saying that it's not like an instant ticket because you've done something wrong. They get told, they get a letter, and they'll get information then too as well. But then you also have to comply with that. And if you don't, at that point, then there has to be some kind of ramification that comes with it to show it. It's not like, oh, we're just going to ignore it and just keep saying you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do this. No, that's the problem that's happened for so many years. Anything else? Public comment.
I'm here on behalf of the Scienceville Library. I serve on the library board. And we are wanting to know if, the town would be interested in a history museum. That the library would be willing to receive. Probably, I had heard that something that maybe you all have been thinking about it. I don't know what all we have started or what is in.
Well, we have the room ready. We have a few cases that can go in there with stuff. We have some things that's been given to us. So, yeah.
So that was part of it because, of course, you know, with the library, our space is pretty much taken up. But we are looking at getting a grant, and that's what we're thinking we might want to use it on. Something that way, and probably focus more at elementary age to make it an educational event. Kids, probably middle elementary age more, but anywhere from kindergarten through fifth or sixth. We're just wanting to know if you had a room, if that would be something that the town council would be interested in letting the library to use that room or something like that.
For the museum? Oh, yeah, I don't have a problem with it because that's what we talked. I'm speaking for myself, so it's up to them.
Yeah, so we're wanting to look at primarily at the history like limestone or the railroad. Make that a focal point. Your kids would have some interaction with the history of the line of Hinesville. They played in all of this big limestone. Look at several things and everything from like to use. Yeah. Anyway, that was what we were mainly was like spaces.
Yeah. You guys have anything you want to ask of it?
No, I'm in favor of it.
Dan? Any
What?
thoughts on it?
No.
You okay with it?
Okay.
Well, we'll get together and show you the room and show you what we have and work from there. Sure. Anything else? Question for you. Any chance that the vines might be gone before the festival?
Yes.
Just a question, because I know we had to fight that every year.
No, yeah, I have to be out of town this weekend, but next weekend I was planning on working on the buildings. I can't start any work on them until the next lady approves, but I will
Oh, sure.
absolutely get a ton of the vines all down. Then we'll save this for maybe the next visit, plan the meeting afterwards. But I would love to propose Christmas lights in some way. We could figure out some way that they would span, you know, obviously 14.6, but 14.6 is the code requirement. But maybe there's a way that we can figure out a way to have really cool Christmas lights that might go between Molly's, you know, some sort of,
We used to have it go across the street. Of course, the semis usually wipe it out for us every year.
I will make it higher. But yeah, that's something that we can talk about doing.
Yeah.
I would be so excited to have, like, we'll put it on a timer so it wouldn't be too late or like, you're not Molly or anybody, but I think that'd be super awesome. But yes, I will work diligently on getting the buildings cleaned up and yeah.
All right, yeah. We'll get together on. Anything else? Public? Tim, you got any announcements?
No, I do not.
Richie?
Yes, you got the same email I got about, Okra funding from this MS consultant group or whatever in Indianapolis. I reached out to them and they want to know when we as a board would be available to meet the guy. Let me find the email now so I can give you the dates and times that he asked for. He would like to know if we would be available to meet August 27th at like 5:30 PM. Or 6. It's for, it's so they can explain to us like how, because to get Okra money, you have to go through like a consulting firm. OCRA.
I'm okay with it.
And I figured that at least get him down here, we can talk to him and see what they can help us with as far as what. And I think, don't hold me to this, but I think that you can get stormwater money through Okra. So Jamie might know for sure back there.
They do a lot with those,
You can do a lot. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
goes off census data for your, income. If you can't use your census data, then they go out and give an income snap. It can be. The opposite.
Yeah.
You usually require a matching portion.
Yeah, I think it's like,
Uh,
I think it's 10 or 25%, depending on your population, I think, or something like that. So, but it would, I mean, they reached out to us, so
Sure.
if they want to come down and educate us on it, that would be fine with me. If 27th works for you guys, I'll get back in touch with him and
Is that okay for you, Ken? It's a Wednesday.
Of this month,
yeah,
August 27th.
yeah.
That's your birthday.
No, it's not my birthday.
He said it was a good
Uh,
day. It's his birthday.
Well, along with that and part of the building, have you ever spoke with that Chris again from Limited Economic Development? Isn't that his name, Chris? Here.
No, I don't believe his name's.
No, it's Clark.
Yeah. He was the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I can.
See if he'd be willing to maybe come down now, take a look at it.
Okay.
Well. Anybody have anything else? Anything from you guys?
Nope.
Good. Well, thank you, everyone. We're adjourned.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.